All right, Wandering in Volume 1. Wow, okay. This was it was a journey, honestly. I loved that book this book. I have started Volume 2 just a smidgen, so it's not really going to impact my thoughts and the things I have to talk about in Wandering in Volume 1, but I do want to talk about this book because I really did love it. It was fantastic, and I hear that each volume gets better and better, so you know what? I can't wait. Now, so for Volume 1, I have a couple gripes and I have a couple praises. And the gripes, I'm going to go ahead and get those out of the way. I think the first 4 or 5 chapters, they felt a little elongated. I should also mention that I read the rewritten version, which you can find on the Wandering In website. I'll link that down below. And I really I think that those first 4 or 5 chapters should have been trimmed a good bit. Because while they are somewhat enjoyable, we are way too stuck in one character's head that we just meet this character. So the main character is Erin Solstice. We just meet her as she gets transported into another world. And then we sit there for 4, 5 chapters just stuck in her head as she's doing her own things. Yes, she encounters goblins. But you know what? Goblins can't talk English. And so there's no genuine interaction. There's no dialogue. It's just her wandering around stuck in her own head. And I think it would be very different if we had met Erin Solstice. We had seen her do a couple things, had dialogues, gotten to know her on her own merits, and then we're thrust into, oh shit, we can't, there's just nothing there. We can't, oh my god, we can't see her interact with the world around her. Yes, she interacts with things, but she doesn't interact with people for a very long time, or at least what felt like a long time. So those first 4 or 5 chapters really felt like forever towards the end. And then new characters come in and we go, okay, then the story starts to pick up. Because I was enjoying it for the first 4 or 5 chapters. It wasn't good. It was like, all right. It was super mediocre. But then, once that got out of the way, once we started hitting the character interactions, boom, I was in love. I was absolutely addicted. Because we got to see these new races. The Antinium, which are like these humanoid ants. And I thought they were fucking cool. And then we have the Drakes, which are like lizard people. They don't like that. I have to admit I like that little joke. Lizard people are other people, but don't mix us up. Don't mix up the Drakes with the lizard people. But they kind of look like lizard people if you look up some of the fan art. And I thought that the new races were very, very fascinating. The Antinium especially, throughout this first volume, gets so much development, so much more understanding through us as the reader, and I really liked that. They were absolutely fantastic characters. And so, while at the beginning, we had that falter, as soon as things start to pick up, we start moving. This is a very long book, by the way. This is about 1,000 pages, and it's an ebook. But I also found that the way Pyrodaba, the author, was able to handle this character thrust into a new world so well. She is dealing with the consequences of, oh shit, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? And I loved it. I loved it so much. It was absolutely fantastic because we got to see her daily life, and I love that sort of stuff, especially if it's with a character I like. And I quite liked Erin Solstice. After I got to see how she interacts with the world, the kindness that she exudes onto other people, I loved that. And how throughout this entire book, we are going and she's constantly thinking, okay, how can I abide by my morals in this world that does not apply to my morals? It was absolutely fantastic. Now, towards the ending, I have a couple gripes. It felt like it dragged a bit, but there were absolutely amazing character moments for that. I should also say we have a secondary main protagonist, and her name is Ryoka Griffin. She is, what's the word? An asshole! That's the word. An asshole! But she's an asshole to everyone. She really is. And we get to see her develop throughout this book to be a little bit less of an asshole. Like, oh shit, I should probably go apologize to the people I was being an asshole towards and who were nice to me. That's quite literally her arc, but I think it was very well done. I think that it was very succinct, it was very quick, but also very, very well done. And it was just very tight-knit. And I did think that when I went over to the Ryoka Griffin chapters, I wanted more of Erin because I'd gotten enough of Erin to really want to stick to her and the characters that were around her and the way she treated the world. I thought was fantastic. And another thing about the world is this is, I don't want to call it a lit RPG, but it has the skill thing. So if you're not a big fan of that, I still think you should give this a try. But, because I'm not a big fan of it, but I really did love this. I tend to give everything a shot, unless it's just absolutely not up my alley. This could have been not up my alley, but I think the skills are not as important to the story, but they are important in characterization. This is what you can do, and they help enhance what you already have, is typically the idea around it in this story. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And so I think that's about all I can talk about in the spoiler-free section. So, 3, 2, 1, going into spoilers now. Oh, man. Okay. One of my favorite scenes in the entire novel is at the beginning, is at like chapter 15 and then towards the end. Can you guess which one it was? Klibkitch! I think that's his name, Klibkitch. Oh my god, my boy, my man! I love that man! Oh, he was the GOAT! He was the best part of this series! Or this book. Oh my god, he's just this sweet little ant. And he's like, you love how awkward he is with people. And he's like, oh shit, I don't understand how humans do this shit. How humans or other creatures do this stuff. Let me figure it out. But he's always so nice about it. He's like, oh crap, I messed up. I apologize. I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend you. I loved him. And then the return of Klibkitch at the very end was absolutely amazing. Oh, that, like, yes. But in case you're wondering what I didn't like about the ending, I thought that the very, like, the fight scene, the whole long-ass battle sucked. But that's just me. I know most people aren't that way. If you like fight scenes, it was probably a great fight scene. But for me, I hate fight scenes because there tends to be less character drama in the fight scene. I have to force myself to read fight scenes. And this was like a 5-chapter long fight scene, and I did not like that. regardless, the character moments we had for Aaron Solstice, and I didn't even talk about Piscus. Piscus, our wonderful man, easily one of the best characters there, and one of my favorite conversations was between him and Aaron, and that was Aaron's talking to him about how he acts so much like a haughty asshole, like he's just a pretentious prick looking down on everybody, and how she looks at him and she goes, well, you should be nice to them because you're better than them, better than the people who are rude and terrible to you and cannot appreciate your abilities. And I think that is absolutely one of the best mentalities to have. I loved Aaron Solstice from before, but with that section, I just was obsessed. And I loved how she's teaching all these little creatures, like the fucking goblins in the Antinium, who are they're the outcasts of society, to play chess. And how by teaching the ants to play chess, she helps further the queen's agenda. Like, we want to bring back the true Antinium. We want to bring back the greatest ants and the best part of our species, and how by making them learn chess and learn this game which makes them bend their minds, they grow to become better individuals. And I loved that. Like with Pawn was a fantastic character. Klipkitch was a fantastic character. And then fuck Kuzkarm? I think I messed up the name. You see, the thing is, when it comes to shitty people, we just purge them from our memory because they're not worth thinking about. So, Kuzkarm, whatever the fuck his name is, he can go to hell. I hated him. He sucked. Fuck him. But absolutely fantastic character who I loved from beginning to end. Klipkitch and Aaron and Piscus. I don't know who I'm talking about anymore. But Piscus, really, the way he treats everyone is like a fuck you. But also, because he does have that, he's not entirely wrong. He is better than everybody else. Like, it's not, he's being an asshole, but he's not in the wrong place. He's a genius. He really does have the position and the intellect to go, yeah, I'm better than you, dipshit. I am a smart ass, but you're not as smart as me. I loved the attitude, but if he had that shit with me, I'd go, okay, no, we're not dealing with you. I also loved how Aaron met Piscus, how she grabs her frying pan and smacks him over the head. Oh, man. Like, how he shows up as looking like a ghost, and he's like, hello, I want food, I need sustenance. And then she goes, bang! Oh, it was such a good scene. Aaron has some amazing scenes. And the chess stuff and all the inner workings of her learning all these things about the world and how she has to support herself in the world. I'm not gonna talk about it, but you probably know what I'm thinking of. And but I didn't expect this certain aspect of women to be explored in this book at all. Like, I was very shocked, because I don't think I've ever seen any book discuss this in depth in any way, shape, or form. Period. End of story. Regardless, absolutely amazing book. I was addicted from beginning to end, or like chapter 6 to end. And I have heard so many things about how the series gets better and better, and I can't wait to continue the series. If I didn't have other things that I wanted to read as well, like Wars of Light and Shadow, I'd probably have binged the series. And, like, I think, well, we'll see. I might, like, I think I might have just talked myself into reading it this month. We'll see. But regardless, this book was fantastic. Or reading volume 2, I should say. But I loved this so much. It was like I won't say it's a 9 out of 10 or like I 9 out of 10s were like, you gave me a little bit of the philosophy, you gave me a little bit of a question to think on, and I loved it. I just loved this. I really did. I just loved it. I didn't get many questions to ponder on. It didn't really resonate with me emotionally too much, but I loved it. Period. That was the end of that story. And man, I can't wait to continue the series because, again, I've heard so many amazing things about this series going forward. And even though it is 15 million words, I'm going to take it at my own leisurely pace. I'm going to love it as I go. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, I hope you all have had a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed the review. Have you read The Wandering Inn? What do you think of The Wandering Inn, or just from Wandering Inn Volume 1, because that's where I am. And I will see you all next time. I hope you all have a great day.